Hi, I'm Stu3D, and in this video, I'm going to talk to you today about the 2017 HP Omen 15-inch gaming notebook. More specifically, the 15AX202NA, which is the model that I have. It has the i5-7300HQ, 8 gigs of RAM, 128 SSD, 1 terabyte hard drive, and the star of the show, the NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1050 with 2 gigabyte of dedicated VRAM. I will put the link to this specific model in the description below. And what I'm going to talk about in this video is just how well that spec of laptop will run modern AAA games. So I've had this laptop a few months now, so I can finally make a proper informed opinion on it. Because when I did the 1 month update, I was still playing sort of catch up with the older games which I'd missed out on over the years. So I was playing the older Black Assassin's Creed Black Flags and stuff like that. I had tried running modern AAAs on it, and basically did benchmarks and left them at that. But in general, though, it has really surpassed my expectations. I was concerned about the 2 gigabyte of dedicated VRAM, thinking that that may be a limiting factor. However, as I've shown you on previous videos, what this laptop does is pretty impressive. If I go NVIDIA control panel, that Windows Defender notification, that'll be telling me I've got my brightness on the screen turned to maximum. It's a bit of it makes it look like you got viruses, but actually it's yeah, device performance and health. Battery life recommendation. Your screen is at brightness is at maximum, so yeah, it tends to worry you a little bit. But yeah, you can ignore that. But yeah, back to what I was talking about. So yeah, as I said, I was concerned that the 2 gigabyte of VRAM was going to be a limiting factor. However, what this laptop does, and I'm pretty certain every NVIDIA Intel-equipped laptop with Optimus technology does the same, is that it actually assigns some system memory to the VRAM. So you see I've got 2 gigabyte of dedicated GDDR5, while I've then can share a further 4 gig with the system memory, giving me a total available of 6 gig. Now in games, it doesn't show up as 6 gig. I wish it did. It does only show up as 2 gig. However, most games, so GTA 5, Assassin's Creed Syndicate and stuff, games which have VRAM monitors tend to allow you to ignore the limits and push right past them. So when I play GTA 5, I run it at 2288 megabytes of VRAM. So I'm 200 meg over the VRAM limit. Assassin's Creed Syndicate, I'm running on settings which say in the menu that I need a 4 gigabyte card. Basically, I run with the high texture pack, and it says, and I will show you when I do the gameplay test of it, that you need a 4 gig card. But I'm running it no problems at all. Now, I find with this laptop that you have to experiment a lot with to get the settings that work well for you. Because in a few games, so Assassin's Creed Syndicate, Mafia 3, it just goes right 2 gig of VRAM. There you go, 720p low, and you know that this card can do a lot more than 720p low. So yeah, if you tweak around with the settings, you can generally get really decent image quality whilst maintaining a decent frame rate. Um, that being said, on this laptop, as I said, I've always said in the previous videos that you need to make some compromises. So you can't run everything 1080p ultra. The hardware is just never going to allow you to do that. And I do find on more modern games, just dropping the resolution to 900p. Now I know what a PC gaming master race is going to be like. Whoa! He said 900p. Whoa! But seriously, on this 15-inch screen, you never get you would have to be nitpicking to notice the difference between 900p and full 1080p. Really, you would have to be going over it with a magnifying glass and looking for individual pixels. Most games look no different at all. However, it is the difference of running, say, 900p with high settings as opposed to say 1080p with medium settings. And I'd rather have all the extra fancy light and effects and sacrifice a little bit of resolution, because let's face it, you're going to notice the lighting effects more than you're going to notice the resolution. So I'd rather sacrifice the resolution a bit, and then basically, yeah, sacrifice resolution and have higher details. But that being said, not all games you need to do that. The better optimized ones, you can run at full 1080, and obviously the less demanding ones, like your Street Fighters and stuff, again, full 1080p. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to fire up NVIDIA Shadow Play, because unfortunately OBS on the more demanding games, which completely max out the system, if I try to capture anything with OBS, it's like a slideshow. So I'm going to capture some footage with Shadow Play, and I'll put the MSI Afterburner overlay on, just to show you how well the system's running. And then what I'll do is I'll go in and show you the settings that I personally use, and you just gives you an idea of what you can expect out of this machine. So I'm going to cut to the first game now. Right, so I'm back, and here we go. We'll start with the first game on our list, which is Grand Theft Auto 5. I'll start with this one because out of all of the modern AAA games, this one's probably the easiest to run. As you can see, these are the settings that I use, and as I've explained before, most settings that I will use will push over that VRAM limit. But obviously, because it's acting like an integrated card on steroids, and therefore sharing some of the system RAM, it doesn't make too much of a difference. So I am over the VRAM limit, but not by a huge amount. As I said, 900p is your friend with this laptop. In some games, it can net you a 10 frame a second gain, literally without sacrificing very much image quality. Especially on this little 15-inch screen, you really got to be putting your eyeballs to the monitor to really notice any sort of difference. But yeah, so I've got most of the details pretty much high, very high. So I'm not. There are some details like the shadows I can crank all the way up to NVIDIA PCSS or whatever. But to be honest with you, the game at these settings looks stunning and runs absolutely beautiful. I mean, I compared it to my mate's PS4 version on Saturday, and my God, my version, the settings I run it out on here just blow it out of the water. I was expecting PS4 maybe a little bit better, PS4 at minimum with a little bit better, but oh god, on well optimized games such as this, you can really show you um, where PC gaming is superior to consoles. Obviously, I don't want to be getting in the flame war of consoles versus PC, because I was a console gamer up until I got this laptop, and the only reason I got the laptop over a PS4 was for convenience. The fact is, as I said in previous videos, the wife watches the TV a lot, so I just sit with a laptop next to me on the sofa and play games. So, and I've played more games on this laptop, A, because they're cheaper on Steam when they go on sales, and B, because, as I said, I can just put it on the sofa next to me and game while the wife's got the TV on. So yeah, we'll drive around, and as you can see, looks absolutely amazing. That 1734 clock speed you're seeing on the GPU, that is no overclocking either. Now, bear in mind, the card is rated at something like 1350 for base clock with a boost of up to 1495. Well, NVIDIA GPUs have something called GPU boost, which will allow the GPU to boost further up to the thermal constraints set by the manufacturer. And with this laptop, I frequently see it 1734, 1721 to 1734. That is where my clocks pretty much stay all the time. So yeah, pretty much some self overclocking. And as you can see, driving around here, I'm sitting at a pinned 60 frames a second because I've got the VSync turned on. And yeah, it looks brilliant. And there we go. Let's get some weapons out and blow stuff up, because that is where you would normally get some frame drops. As you see, smooth as anything. See, all the blurring effects are all turned on. So all the fancy effects and stuff are all turned on, and yeah, runs smooth as anything. But as I said, Grand Theft Auto, even though it's everyone's favourite, is actually, compared to some of the other games I'm going to show you, is actually one of the more lightweight ones. So, yep, that'll be it for Grand Theft Auto, and I will show you Mafia 3 next. So there you go, that was GTA 5, and here you go, I shall show you what I mean about that little buffer. So as you can see there, dedicated GPU usage was actually only, dedicated VRAM usage was only up to 1700, but it was sharing, there you go, around about 100 with the system memory. So it's pretty impressive that it can do that, to be honest with you, and it actually does sort of, in some ways, counteract the deficiency of only having 2 gig of VRAM. So yeah, as I said, I'm now going to put on Mafia 3, and I shall show you that running. Hi, so here we are with Mafia 3, and this is the perfect example of where I said you'd need to experiment with this laptop to get the best sort of image quality to frame rate ratio, because this game defaults 720p low. Now we know that this game runs like crap and it brings mighty systems to its knees. However, upon doing a bit of research, it turns out that it was actually the reflections and the anti-aliasing which absolutely killed performance. So again, put it down to 900p. As I said before, 900p is your friend. So unlimited frames a second, depth of field, blah blah blah. So we've got ambient occlusion to high, motion blur on, geometry detail high, shadow quality high. The reflection quality is what kills your frame rate, so keep that on low. Volumetric effects, I think that's extra light, so put that on medium. Anti-aliasing to low, and yeah, that ambient occlusion, that's the highest it can go. Look. Geometry detail, again, highest it can go. There you go. So some of the settings there are absolutely maxed out, and there you go. And this is, bear in mind, whilst recording, I am sitting at 46 frames a second, and yeah, it's pretty impressive. I'm praying to God that the game isn't going to be causing the recording to end up like a slideshow, so I'll have to obviously check that before I upload it. But yeah, it's running relatively well. Obviously, because I am recording, it is taking already the maxed out performance and well, extra maxing it out. So you will notice probably some little stutters, but you don't get them when you're not recording. But there you go. I'm at the mid 40 frames a second. When I'm not recording, I can see that sit just under 50. So yeah, I'm pretty impressed with that. And this is Mafia 3, which is known for being an absolute beast on system. So the fact that a budget gaming laptop, which let's face it, is the base model of this year's gaming series, is able to run last year's, well, I say last year's, very late last year's AAA behemoth, that is Mafia 3, and run it actually pretty well, is pretty decent, to be honest with you. So, yeah, this is how well this laptop handles AAA games. And as I said, it surpassed my expectations. You know, I wasn't expecting to be able to run Mafia with quite a lot of the settings maxed out. So, as I said, those little stutters there are purely because I am recording. It doesn't do that normally. And also, I believe a little bit of extra RAM would go down quite well with this system, because it has only got 8 gig, and if I'm also stealing some RAM for use as graphics RAM, then it's all some games do like to have a lot of RAM available to them. So yeah, sticking 16 gig of RAM in will stop that page file from being used half as much. Because as you can see, I've got 6.5 gig of RAM in use with a 9 gig page file. So if I stick another 8 gig of RAM in that, hopefully the page file won't be getting hammered as much, and therefore the game might run a wee bit smoother with less little tiny hiccups. But to be honest with you, I'm rather impressed with actually how well this runs. So yeah, that's it for Mafia, and I'll move on to Assassin's Creed Syndicate. So yeah, that was Mafia 3, and again with the VRAM usage, as you can see, absolutely spanking the dedicated VRAM at that point. Look, just under 2 gig there, and then also taking now into like 300 meg of the shared RAM. So yeah, as I said, I'm now going to move on to Assassin's Creed Syndicate for you. So here we are in Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Now, I would say this has probably been the most demanding out of all of the games I've played on this machine, and yeah, it's that demanding that if you are in gameplay and you try to bring up the shadow play menu, the shadow play menu just lags out. That is how much this game absolutely hammers the system. Here are the settings I'm running it at. Now I've dropped it down to 900p just for recording purposes, but I do run this one actually at 1080 purely because there is an issue with full screen. Basically, if I put it in full traditional full screen, for some reason it doesn't resize the desktop behind it. So if I drop it down to 900p in traditional full screen, basically they have a little borderless window for Assassin's Creed with a little bit of your desktop just poking out from behind it. None of the other Assassin's Creed games do it, and I've read up in the Assassin's Creed forums that it seems to be a bug with Optimus system. So basically an NVIDIA equipped laptop, which has the Intel HD and the GeForce graphics, which hot switch between the two. So yeah, borderless full screen. It does claim that it will take a little bit of performance off you, but actually, at 900p when not recording, I have actually seen this game in some areas, very rarely, but in some areas actually hit 70 frames a second. So I'm like, whoa. And that's why I have VSync off, because I'm in borderless full screen. With VSync off, I don't get any tearing still, so which is pretty impressive. And as you can see, I'm running it at the high graphics preset, but check that out. That VRAM usage is just under 3 gig when I've only got 2 gig available, which is rather, yeah, it's rather impressive. And that is where that little shared system RAM buffer comes in. But here you go, and that is what is causing it. Look, I should only be on low. There you go, low if VRAM is no more than 2 gigabytes, but I'm running it on high. Yeah, just screw the manufacturer's recommended settings. Nah, I don't need them. And actually, it's not actually that bad. You might get some jerkiness whilst playing because I am recording it at the same time. The biggest frame drops tend to be when I'm riding these buggies. Um, and actually, it's staying pretty well into the 40s. But I am getting frame drops, and it is purely because I am recording at the same time. Because as I said, this machine gets absolutely hammered with this game. It does not like recording or streaming it. Um, as I said, I believe that to be down to the RAM as well, because obviously this game is recommended 8 gig of RAM without having any RAM being stolen by the graphics card. So as you can see, it's out of all of the games we've played, including Mafia 3, this has already got the highest system RAM usage. And then there you go, the page file is now well into the 10 gig mark. So yeah, I believe this game would be one of those ones which would benefit from a little bit more RAM if you were intending on streaming it at the same time. However, general gameplay without recording or streaming is actually far better. You do not get any of that stuttering or anything like that. At worst, this game, when you're actually in game without streaming. At worst, you get every now and again, and it's very rare, but you'll have a little bit where the game will just freeze for a second, and then it'll pick up, and it might only happen once in like a 3 hour marathon session. It might not even happen at all. But as you can see, everything is being hammered. Processor 100%, GPU pretty much 100, 98%. There you go. RAM is pretty much maxed out. VRAM is maxed out. The page file is massive. So this game is really absolutely pounding every resource of this laptop to the maximum. However, going forward, because I'm already on the high settings, if I was willing to sacrifice, it does give me hope going forward that obviously when newer, more demanding games eventually come out, but because I'm running this era's AAA games at high settings, that I will be able to run, say, next generation's AAA games at maybe medium settings, which, to be honest with you, I can live with that. And as I said, this laptop has far surpassed my expectations. As I said, purely on this game, the fact that I can have textures turned up to high, when realistically I should have a card with 4 GB of VRAM in just to be able to do that. So yeah, hopefully this video will have been helpful. I'm going to exit the Assassin's Creed Syndicate now, and then I will show you GPU-Z, and I will show you how much of a pounding my system RAM was taking from the GPU. So bear with me 1 second. There you go, I'm back. I've just finished running Assassin's Creed Syndicate. And here you go, as you can see, there you go. I was like 600 odd meg into the system RAM at that point. Look, flooded VRAM and like 600 meg into the system RAM. So bear in mind, Assassin's Creed is recommended to have 8 GB of RAM. The fact that I was stealing 600 to give to the graphics card. But as I said, only those stutters and naff gameplay was purely because I was attempting to record it at the same time. I mean, as I said, it's a game that completely maxes out every resource of the machine. So, and then to ask the machine to record it at the same time, you were just asking for trouble, to be honest with you. So, but to be honest with you, all in all, I am seriously impressed with this machine. As I said, for the price, you cannot go far wrong. And I was talking about memory upgrade. Yes, the RAM is upgradable. Now, according to the HP service manual, which I've got on this laptop, I've got saved on the laptop somewhere, the RAM isn't meant to be user upgradable, which is a bit pants, because HP doesn't actually sell it with a 16 gig configuration in the UK by default. Anyway, you can't even spec it up on HP's website. However, people have had a go at HP and they've turned around and actually said, well, yeah, you can upgrade it, just don't break it whilst you upgrade it, and keep the old parts so you can revert it back to factory standard if you ever need any warranty issue. So yeah, I'm going to be going ahead and upgrading it, and I shall be putting this in. Crucial RAM, I always find I've always used Crucial RAM. It comes with a lifetime warranty. I don't work for Crucial. They're not paying me to say this. This is just my own personal opinion. And this is the RAM that you'll need, DDR4 2400, because that's what come in this. It says 2133 on HP's website, but mine actually comes with 2400. So yeah, you need both. You need two sticks because this has currently got two 4 gig sticks in. So it's not a case of, oh, I'll just buy an 8 gig stick and make it 16. Both slots are already in use, so you will need to buy the full kit. And this is the kind of RAM that you will need. So yeah, with that being said, though, seriously impressed with this laptop. And as I said, it has handled every game I've thrown at it with no problems at all. So yeah, rather impressed with that. Hopefully this video has been helpful, and thanks for watching. As I said, I will put Amazon links for both the laptop and the RAM in the description below. I'm in the spirit of being that brutally honest. I am now an Amazon affiliate link, and I found Amazon affiliate. And if you click those links and then buy the laptop from Amazon through that link, I'll get a little kickback. So, if you do decide that, me love you long time. But obviously, don't feel the need to do it. If you can get it cheaper elsewhere, then just get it cheaper. I've just put those links in for reference. So yeah, there we go. Thanks for watching. If this video has been helpful, hit the like button. And if you really like my content, then don't forget to share and subscribe it. Thanks very much for watching.